What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a money play that you can use to beat any kind of zone out on the field. The play is in the Oakland Raiders offense, and we're going to be going into strong close. And the play is PA deep cross. Now, I'm going to start in palms and quarters. It's the most difficult one to freaking beat because it's random. First off, it's very random, and you guys will see in this video what I'm talking about. But the setup's pretty easy. You want to go ahead and block your running back and then put your tight end on a delay fade, and you're gonna go ahead and streak B. Now this streak is really just more so focused towards palms and quarters. Generally speaking, if the game cooperates with you against a cover 3 sky or a cover 4 drop or even a Tampa 2, you can have Tyreek Hill on a slant instead. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and motion Tyreek Hill out. One final thing to note as well is make sure that you have the guy that's running this crossing route on the short side of the field. So that's the final note. And now we're going to go ahead and snap this ball, and we're going to look for the crossing route or this little check and release. You can see right there, Earl Thomas is playing the best man defense you guys have probably ever seen him play because of zoned out. Apparently that somehow works with man. I don't know. It works with man coverage magically now. But if they are on the 3 rec hook, you're going to have this delay fade as well. This delay fade is really unique because first off, he just drops straight into a block, as you guys could see right there. And if you wanted to run a fade route, which is essentially just a streak, now that he just killed the fade, you can just hit the corresponding icon. In this case, it would be A, and have him release and just run a route straight downfield. I'll show you guys that right now. We're not going to be able to throw it because we're not running against a user, but maybe even we'll get the crossing route open. Just pay attention to what I'm going to do right here. So right here, bam, we're going to have A on this release. You can see right there, that time the outside quarter. Come on, throw it. We would have thrown it into coverage, but we had that crossing route right open. And if they were on the 3 yard hook and say they chase down the crossing route, you're going to be able to hit that release by hitting the A button as he's blocked. Time may vary. Your results may vary on how long it takes for him to release. Some people say it's awareness. Some people say it's something else. I don't know. I don't buy any of it. But it's very easy to beat it. And you guys probably noticed right there, if you're paying attention downfield, that time Earl Thomas did not match. Another issue with palms and quarters. It's not exclusive to one or the other. It's to both of them. One of them is going to match, and sometimes it's the inside, sometimes it's the outside. Either way, if you have a fast wide receiver, you're going to be able to beat that inside or outside quarter fairly easily. So this is a little bit about palms and quarters. Again, this is how you attack it. You're going to go ahead and motion them out. And the check and release is really good for a user. It's not so good against the CPU, but of course these crossing routes this year are just absolute money. Earl Thomas is going to match this time. How did I know that? But you can see right there, Earl Thomas, even though he has 85 speeds, keeping up with a 97 wide receiver speed, stride for stride. In fact, he's a little bit ahead of him for a brief second. But we can hit this crossing route almost every single time. I'm going to move away from palms, quarters. It's essentially the same thing. I'm going to just show you guys how it works, and then we'll move on to the more classic stuff of what you're going to see, like cover 3 sky, cover 4 drop, and Tampa 2. That's really the ones that everybody runs. If you don't run that, then I don't know. You're unique. So we're going to go into cover 4 quarters. Same exact thing. Delay fade, streak, block your running back, motion this guy out. I'm going to double team, slide right. Bam, snap this ball. Release. That was the worst release. Again, results may vary, but we can still hit this crossing route fairly consistently. If you guys notice that time, Earl Thomas matched. It's random. There's no consistency to it whatsoever. It is literally random when he isn't going to match. But you can see right there, that time he didn't match. Therefore, we can hit that crossing route. So that's why these crossing routes are so effective, because sometimes palms and quarters, even if you do the same exact adjustment, all of a sudden I don't know. I have no answer. They don't work. They just simply don't work, and that's why nobody wants to use it, because it sucks. But you can see right there, even if the inside quarter matches, the outside quarter matches, if you have a speed mismatch, you're going to be able to pass lead that to the outside with dashing deadeye and hit it almost directly onto these sidelines. That's enough about quarters and palms. These are the most frustrating defenses because of how broken they are and how inconsistent they work. So let's go back into PA deep cross. We're going to go into cover 3 sky now. We're going to do this a little bit different. This kind of depends on the players that they have on the field. where the star is on the far right, I know that's a manned up ability. And so we don't have to worry so much about them reacting in their zones a lot quicker if they have universal coverage or zoned out. You got to be really careful about doing this. If they have universal coverage or zoned out, I just recommend running it the same exact way you would against a cover 4 palms or quarters, and it's essentially just something like this. For now, we're going to go ahead and try this instead. We're going to have a slant, and we're going to use this guy as a motioned out route to really maintain that the user stays in that field. If the defensive back on that side of the field is reacting to the ball, then you might need to go ahead and just motion him out on a streak to help clear that side of the field a little bit more. So let's go ahead and motion him out, motion snap. We're going to roll out, and we're going to throw a dot. Bam, dot. And you guys can see right there, we're getting underneath the outside third and over the top of this curl flat with a slant. Now, how I was talking about earlier, if you guys want a little more space to work with, you're going to go ahead and streak Tyreek Hill with Travis Kelce on a delay fade in case the user decides to just go who knows where. You can hit the A button. He releases downfield, and you can hit him for a dot. So now we're going to go ahead and run it essentially like cover 4 quarters and palms. He's right there. Bam. Okay, I crossed the line of scrimmage, but if I didn't cross the line of scrimmage, I don't know how I crossed the line of scrimmage right there. But if I didn't, then you're going to have that crossing route wide open as well. So this is a pretty consistent way to go ahead and just get easy yards every single time. Of course, you can hit that slant. Come on, come on, come on. Patrick Mahomes. Dot. There we go. You can see right there a little bit more space to work with. But, of course, if you want to have that slant, you can still fit it in the windows just a little bit tighter. And if they click on, they may have a small chance of picking it off. But with the way Madden 20 is, people really can't pick things off this year. So, go ahead. Feel free to throw it as is. So this is the way I'm really going to be beating a cover 2 and a cover 3. Cover 4 drop's going to be a little bit different because the quarters, I personally feel like they play crossers a little bit better. They definitely play corners better. But back into PA deep cross, this time we're going to a cover 4 drop show 2. We're going to go ahead and set it up the same exact way as we would normally. Just like this cover 3. This is going to be the exact way to beat a cover 2, no question. Don't ask. So we'll roll out. Pass lead it down into the outside, and you can see right there, dot. And somehow that was a cross body. I'm not sure how that was. But you can see that it is a small window, but you can hit it. Again, if they have a zoned out player on that side of the field, I pretty much either recommend you got to streak B or just flip it and run that crossing route to where the zoned out player isn't. Because if that was to be a zoned out player, they'd get a much faster reaction to the ball, and the chances of them picking you off are much, much higher just because of how the ability works. But you can see right there against a non-zoned out player, we can hit that fairly easily. If that was Earl Thomas, it's probably a pick, and we would just pretty much flip it and run the crossing route away from the zoned out player. So now I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about cover 2. Cover 2 is really, really easy to beat with this. And back into PA deep cross. We'll start into Tampa 2, and then we'll work our way into a cover 2 with soft squats. Cover 2 sink. I always forget what it's called. But bam, right here. This is the exact way I'm going to go ahead and run it. B on a slant, A on a delay fade, just in case the user abandons that part of the field. We'll double team. I don't know which outside linebacker the defense automatically flips it for you. But it's right there. That time we choose wrong, but we can hit this crossing route. Bam. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's inbounds because it's Madden 20. Everything's inbounds this year. But you can see right there, we can fit that fairly easily in against a mid-read. The mid-read will match it, but because it is a linebacker, he's not going to be able to keep up stride for stride. And you kind of notice he started to sag back towards the middle of the field. On top of that, what's nice about this particular play in cover 2 is his slant is also something you can hit. Now, you don't have to exclusively put him on a slant. It's nice against man defense because it gets better separation between the man defender and the slant route. But if it's just straight up zone, you can put him on a drag as well and just create a basic high-low read. So we'll motion snap him out. Again, hit this on the sideline. Dot. Every single time. Now that mid-read, with that mid-read matching that crossing route, you can hit the drag underneath as well. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to just double team this guy now that we know who it is. Bam. Underneath stuff fairly easily and dumb out the whole defense because we spin. But you can see pretty easy way, and this is the most consistent thing to be to cover 2. Crosser with a high-low read. Delay fade in case the user chases it down like that mid-read did. I'm actually going to go ahead, since we can kind of seem to simulate it right now, we're going to utilize this delay fade. So we're going to motion this guy out, motion snap, delay fade, release, and you can see right there, that's a really good way to give you guys an idea of what a user may do. If a user's on that mid-read or 3-rec hook, you can utilize that release to be able to get a good gain of about 5, sometimes 10 yards. And if you have a faster tight end like George Kittle, maybe even a touchdown out of it. So that's definitely something you guys need to start utilizing in your playbook. So this is a really basic way of attacking cover 2. Again, it's just a slant with a delay fade. A delay fade, you guys can see right there, the mid-read chases it, and we can just release him from his block by hitting the A button or whatever button is corresponding to the tight end for an easy gain. Let's go ahead and snap this ball one more time. Release. Bam. And let's just say the user did something like that where he kind of hesitates on that mid-read, tries to go back, but then all of a sudden you get the crossing route open instead. So very, very easy way to attack cover 2. You guys can test it out for yourselves and practice it a little bit more. But now let's go ahead and talk about this cover 2 sink. Cover 2 sink, sometimes these soft squats will match this crossing route and play a little bit better than what the mid-read will do. But let's go ahead and do something like this. Be on a drag, again, delay fade, block your running back, motion snap. I'm expecting the soft squat to match. You can see right there it does, and therefore we're going to be able to hit the underneath stuff fairly easy for a gain of 10 yards. Let's do this one more time. I'm going to go ahead, I don't know, I think it's this, it should be this guy that comes in on a blitz right there, bam. We're going to go no look dead eye. But you guys can see right there, soft squats generally do play it fairly well. And in that case, because the soft squat's matching, the mid-read isn't going to match, and we're going to be able to hit that underneath stuff pretty easily. A lot of people, what they're going to do, even though the soft squat is matching, they're still going to be worried that it's going to get beat over the top. And realistically, with how the alignment is right now, we should be able to beat them over the top. But with how Madden 20 is, it's pretty difficult. So if you notice that the soft squats are matching, there's one final thing we can do, and that time we just get absolutely just screwed. But we got bumped. We got a PI. There's no PI in this game, though. But there is one thing we can do to counter that. If you notice the soft squats are matching, go ahead and put Williams on a little out route to the side of the crossing route. What this is going to do is it's going to hold that soft squat down there and then allow Cole Hardman to get wide open instead. So let's go ahead and snap this ball. You'll see right there. Bam. Now the mid-read is the one responsible for keeping up, and we're going to be able to hit that. And that was probably out of bounds, but whatever. We're going to be able to hit that crossing route fairly easily. So if they are soft squats, a swing route works. A wheel route's going to be ran to the wide side. So a swing route to the left or out route to the left. Just anything to hold that soft squat down from chasing the crossing route is going to be how you're going to get it open against a cover 2 sink. So same thing as always. Motion him out, snap the ball. You can see right there. We're going to consistently get him to stop matching. And bam, dot. So with that being said, that's going to take care of all the zone coverages in the game. The best thing with this to utilize if the user is on the mid-read or on the vertical hook, whatever the case may be. First off, you got to drag if they chase that crossing route earlier. Second, you also have this release route if they're on the mid-read. Get a good gain of a few yards. The mid-read right here, again, you guys can kind of see that the mid-read is, since there's no match behind it, he is going to go ahead and match this crossing route instead. And because he does that, I'm going to throw a blind read, but this is Madden 20. You can throw blind reads anyways. I meant to hit the A button. We can go ahead and hit the A button on our tight end and release him downfield for a gain of about 5 yards. I'll do that one more time because I kind of choked that one away. But let's go and double team this guy. Release, pass lead it to the inside. You can see right there. Because mid-read matches, we're going to have an easy out. So that's going to take care of this video. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, this has been T. Sure. Hop into the lab, practice a little bit, get used to the timing of the throws. See ya.